Okay, yeah, thanks so much for the great tips. The next question has got to do with mental block. Maybe the next two questions is relating to managing stress lah. There's a question about how to prevent stress build up in the running up the PSLE, and also relating to it is the mental block. Yeah, is there a good way to prevent mental block? Are they related? Is how does mental block happens and how can we avoid that? Yeah. Maybe Nicholas could go first. Yeah.
Yeah, my view is that the mental block is self-imposed. That means self-imposed basically means that I put the pressure on myself to a point where I'm totally like beyond my human capacity ability, right, to now manage all the information, all the stresses, all the challenges, all the obstacles, whatever it is, right, to a point now that it's like your brain kind of jammed, and you just cannot pull out. So you're just overworking the CPU, yeah. So therefore the block happens. If I may put it that way, right? So in that sense, it's self-imposed, right? But there could be triggers to stress or stress that's caused by not you but everything around you. So I mean, like I was alluding to it earlier also, right? It could be parents nagging or the constant like pressure from friends, like, hey, I'm doing this, hey, you finished practice today, I finished 10 practice already, I only finished 2 practice, like the kind of competition, that peer pressure, and so on and so forth lah. Yeah, so that's why I always check with the family and the child, like how do you in the event that you are very stressed while you're writing your paper, right? And you really cannot think anymore, what then do you do for yourself? So I will check their ability. Do they have any skills to self-manage the kind of situation that they're confronted with there and then while they are in front of the paper, right? Like for example, can you take a deep breath? Okay, pause, come and put your pants down, right? Take a deep breath, calm yourself down, and just empty your mind, right? Are you able to do that? Right? Oh no, I never do this kind of thing because I'm just worried about this question. I think of this page, I think of that page, I think of this exercise that my teacher did. I think, and they are trying to find solutions in their head all around the world. But the more they find, the more they are unable to find the answer, right? So sometimes it's just to stop all that and just to quickly just calm down, take a deep breath, right? Yeah. So that could be at that point, at the moment in time, right? But sometimes also in a home environment, because we tend to get a bit kanchong, they say, a bit worked up, then because we will start to worry, you mean this chapter, this you've been revising already, how you don't know? Then now I feel pressured because now you like you highlight something that I'm supposed to know, but I do not know. Then I'm like, oh no, I start to question myself. Right? After I start questioning myself, right? And after that, I'm thinking like, oh no, then should I ask my friends, or should I get ask my teacher for the what's that, the solution or the practice solution, for example, go through it, and should I practice some more with them? So as they are trying to solution with you as a result of your observation and your highlight of the circumstance, my CPU overrunning already. So this is not imposed by myself, but imposed by external factors, right? In this case, I'm just setting an example of somebody at home. Yeah, so you have to take note of all this lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for mental block, also if you know that there's going to be exam the next day, there's no use cramping so much. I would rather give my kids an early night, because I think a well-rested mind and body also feel more relaxed and energized for clearer thinking. So the night before, or that's why even at home when we are doing timepiece, right, before the timepiece there will always be at least a 10 to 15 minutes ice cream, yogurt, or cream puff break. So those are things that we could help to do a reset for their mind before they start again, I feel.
Yeah, that's so important. Rest and recover. Recovering or rest is actually also work. It refreshes them to do more. Or at least reboot. It's like charging our devices every day. Yeah. There is a question on whether, are there healthy stress versus unhealthy stress? Maybe Nicholas could weigh in on that. How do we tell whether, what are the signs and symptoms of stress that's healthy or versus what's not healthy? And how can the home and the school or the PSG, the parent support group, come alongside in the final runway into PSLE?
Yeah, there's a technical word for it actually that we use in therapy. The healthy stress is called eustress, EU hyphenated STRESS, right? And then obviously the normal stress is just stress, right? So the positive stress are those that actually spurs us to take action, that encourages us to do well, and doesn't put us in a position where we tap into negative energy or negative coping strategies. So probably an example of eustress would be that of if I knew that my friends were actually doing more practice exercises, right? And I personally am a high achiever, and I really want to be able to also do well, right? So the competition that I see myself in with my best friend, right, is something that's considered positive, right? But it becomes negative when, despite the fact that I've already been able to achieve well already, and I'm really kind of on par with my best friend already, but I still feel that I'm not good enough, and that I think that I can do more at the expense of my sleeping time. I need to really beat my friend, and I don't need to eat, I don't need to sleep, I just need to just plow on, that kind of thing, like to a point where not only your health is affected, your mental health is affected. You have what we call negative mental scripts, and you're unable to reframe healthily or appropriately, or that's really unhealthy already. And that kind of stress is not helpful. Yeah. So we differentiate that, and we encourage eustress. And once you have reached a certain point, and then you know when to let go, as opposed to like having to continue to pursue something that will give you more bad stress and causing a lot more.
Yeah, my question, I ask on everybody's behalf, because good stress or bad stress, healthy stress, or okay, eustress in this case, does it help? Okay, both stress are all because of targets and goals set for them, right? Or they set for themselves. And honestly, I don't think kids can differentiate it so well. So I feel to have healthy stress is to have realistic goals. Will you say that? Because sometimes if we give them unrealistic goals or keep having the conversation go into comparison, that's when I feel that a healthy goal and healthy stress starts tipping to the other side. Quick, Nicholas, I need affirmation. Say yes.
Yes, for sure. Yes. And I think it's helpful if we have taught our kids how to set goals, short-term goals, long-term goals.
Yeah. Parents, you all want to set goals also must be realistic.
Yes. Yes.
I like how my mom consoled me when I was younger. Although it doesn't sound too right now when I think about it. She used to say like, please 啦，全世界不用这么多医生和律师的。Because that time all relatives, it must be what? Must be doctor, must be lawyer, must be teacher, right? Then my mother was watching us revise lah. Then she just happily say, don't need so many doctors, lawyers in this world. If everybody doctor, lawyers, this world has nobody else to do other work. So it's kind of a funny moment, but it actually switch out a certain mentality that yes, everyone defines it that this is the gold standard. But my mom just like, hey, if everybody is doctor, then who is going to do other things, So that eased out a bit, and also gave me space to dream, and also gave me space to like, I try my best. Oh, and another thing that my mother always tell me, and even now I tell my children is, if there's one way to counsel my kids regarding stresses, I say healthy stress is when your goal is to have no regrets next time. So you want to take your PSLE and you have set a goal, and this is a realistic one. I hope that you will work hard now so that when the results come back, you can confidently say, yeah, I set a goal, I did well. And not like, oh yeah, I should have, yeah, why I didn't, yeah. I say the feeling of regret is not a nice feeling. So that's some of the things I always tell my kids now.
Yeah, thanks, Esther. I do wonder whether maybe some of us parents may not be even sure what is a realistic goal. How do you define a realistic goal? How do we tell whether the goal that we set for our children is realistic or not? Is there like some checklist or some benchmark or certain things that we should take note of? Is it their gifts and talents? Is it their mental faculties? But we know that their prefrontal cortex is not ready. So how do we even know whether we are raising the bar high enough for them, or is it overstretching them? How do we know? Any thoughts? Maybe Esther and then Nicholas.
For me, I think school results, of course, is a good gauge. But at the same time, because different school this year, especially like for WA1, they only test some components, but in the end, they balloon it into, okay, so this is what happened. Let's say your child is actually very good in oral, okay? And then for WA1, the school only tested oral, and then the AL come back like super, super good, like AL2 or AL1. But it is actually not a true representation of whether your child's Chinese grade is really that good, because could it be that he or she is just very good in speaking, but because the school came back with a result that gives you a ballooned idea of the standard that your child is for Chinese. But WA come back, let's say they actually tested compo only, and then the school gave you a result slip, and then it dropped to AL6, and then you start to 紧张, how come AL1 in term 1 and AL6 in term 2? So I think the key thing here is don't look at the absolute score that the teachers are giving you in the report card or the result slips, but to actually look at the components within the exam. And then my realistic goal for for me is actually, I actually set the goals by the components of the paper. I think that is a better attainable stages for the child, instead of immediately go for a very conclusive AL grading, because I know the school has been doing little tests here and there, and then they keep rounding up into ALs, but don't be deceived by it, that is so low or so high. But look at the test paper, look at the component that was tested, and then from there have a discussion. Do you think you can push a bit? Or is it a borderline one that we can aim for a bit more? Or do you think that this was your best already? So have those conversations, I think will be useful.
And I think
Yeah.
applying the same principle also to understand realistic or not realistic is also to look at their ability and capacity. So like, for example, if they're still in school until like what, 2 something, 3 something, for example, and then they come back and then they start doing their homework or start doing a revision, for example, is it realistic then to just give them 1 hour to just wind down and then start working on their revision, for example? Is that realistic, right? Or what happened in the day do we know that will help them be able to basically just have only that 1 hour of rest, and then after that start on their revision thereafter, and we expect them to do that? Is that realistic, right? They could have gone through hell in school with their friends, it may not even be work, or the teacher has been giving them a hard time, and stuff like that. Is it realistic? That's one example. Another example could be that, okay, if you are using incentive and rewards, for example, okay, I give you some screen time, for example, and then after that, after your screen time, then you're going to do your homework. But this is just after dinner, right? To expect that the child will actually start getting to doing the revision when you give your child screen time after dinner, that's unrealistic, right? Because the brains is so fired up, and you want the child to start taking out their homework and start doing the revision after that, the brain is going to be all over the place. So you want them to focus on their revision, it's not going to happen. This is just looking at our physiology, right? How our body can take certain things. I think that's not realistic, right? If you want to score them after that, it's even more unrealistic, because they may not even get off the game at that point in time, and it's after dinner. And then you want them to also do your revision after that. Wow. If I were you, I'd rather not even go there to begin with. If they want to, I want them to wind down. So I will even give them the opportunity to play game before dinner, and then shower, and then start doing the homework. That kind of thing, because I know the science behind it, right? So therefore, because if I do the former way of doing this, right, as opposed to the latter, right, then the former will put them in a position that is totally unrealistic for them to start doing work after that. So that's the other way of considering the realistic and not realistic. Yeah, there's 2 examples.
If I could follow up quickly on that, is it okay to tie completion of homework or test papers to screen time?
Yeah, that's fine, because what they want, right? So if that was the case, then yeah, sure, by all means. But it wouldn't be realistic if you give them, like, say, close to sleeping time, because you also know that later on we have to sleep, right? So yes, I can offer that, but I said, but this time you can use it tomorrow, something like that, and I give them a heads up. And then, because this negotiation is back and forth, the child has an opportunity to say agree or don't agree with you, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is something that you want to consider, because it would be unrealistic that was the case to offer it
Yeah.
after dinner. Yeah, or in that
To,
time.
to tie the two could be actually quite a lot of negotiation that takes place,
For sure,
especially when
especially,
both the parents and the child is under stress.
yes, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Esther, I saw you might have other views. Yeah.
No, I agree with Nicholas mentioning actually it's also the timing and stuff. Regarding negotiation, right? I feel that it shouldn't be negotiated. I think negotiation got to be done at the correct timing.
Yeah.
Usually it has to be done before everything has you cannot negotiate like, oh, you finally finished, so what do you want to do now?
Yeah.
It must always be done before.
Yeah.
Because by then you're stuck because you promised them that they can have freedom and power to choose, but it is 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I feel every time that's why planning timetable is a good way, because you can plan the relaxation activity at the end. You plan it beforehand so that they can get it at the end. But if after they're done, they say, okay, come, good job, now decide. And then they say, but you say you can play do what we want. You want to play Minecraft at 9 to 9:30, man? Or Roblox like that, then go to bed, man. Cannot, right? So everything should be done before lah. That's how it should be, I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what that be said is also quite ideal situation, because we know in many household, sometimes father may agree with this plan, but mom is not in the picture. So after that, mom comes into the picture, and then after that, everything all disrupted because going against what dad planned earlier, or vice versa. Mom could be the one planning first, and after that, dad come in and jeopardize the whole plan, and the whole house go into chaos. That's one. Number two, second possibility is that the child is not ready to basically have this conversation with you, right? And it's always not a good time to address this kind of situation when the child is fully limbically engaged, meaning to say they are already playing, they are all hyped up, or they already made arrangement with their friends, that kind of thing. But there was no prior conversation. So you have that conversation at that point in time, it's like, oh my goodness, this is not going to work out. So it's not realistic. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realize
Thanks so
today's
much.
conversation is the keyword today is practicality and being realistic.
Being realistic, yeah, being realistic. I'm mindful of time. We did say that we will end at 9:30, but I think the panelists are okay to stay on for another half hour. We will hard stop at 10. But the final question for tonight in the formal until 9:30 would be, do you have any advice for those families that are raising children with ASD or ADHD? Is there any particular specific encouragement or things that they should do or they should not do to support their child who has special educational needs? Nicholas?
Yeah. I always tell my clients basically that you're in a very privileged position, because the ASD and ADHD condition requires a certain structure. And if the structure has always been there already, keep to it. And that's how the child feels safe, secure to be able to execute the strategies that you've been teaching him or her for the longest time already. Therefore, approaching the major examinations, right? And if you are worried and you are trying to adjust that structure, it's not going to help you nor the child. In fact, it will make things worse for the child, right? So you just want to be consistent based on all the strategy that you have already been nurturing your child with, right? Keep to it. I think if anything at all would be to help them learn how to be creative around that structure and to adapt around that structure, right? But based on their own personalities and character traits, right? But by and large, the structure is still the same. And the key here is that we want them to be able to focus and to be able to know how to pull out the answers from whatever they've been learning and then to apply and to let's call it out. Yeah. So consistency that leads to stability, and that will help them feel secure. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Nicholas. Esther, anything to add? No? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Can I invite everyone to go to Slido once again? The poll is on. Now that you have heard so much, learned so much from Esther and Nicholas, I would invite you to now do a check-in again. Okay. So at the start of it, we had a check-in on how are you feeling? So now after hearing all the really good tips from Esther and Nicholas, how to deal with, making sure that we look at them at the person and not performance, like what Esther was saying, and the 5 tips that Nicholas shared, how are you feeling now? In the final weeks running to PSLE, do you feel more confident? Do you feel like more at peace? We hope that we have at least moved you at least 1 bar to the right from the start of the session. And as you continue to just do this reflection, can I invite Esther and Nicholas to give a final encouragement to all the parents? But parents, there are still many questions in Slido. So those who need to go back to their families at 9:30, you are free to do so. Those who would like to stay on, we will try to address as many questions as possible, but really there are too many. If you are able to stay, we would stay until 10. So very thankful to Esther and Nicholas for agreeing to do that. So perhaps Esther, what is your final encouragement to the group?
My final encouragement. I would say that must always remember PSLE is really just that 2 months. I wouldn't honestly trade it for the many years to come, my relationship with my child, if I realize that we are going to be strangling each other soon. So I think I would just re-emphasize that if there are messages and images that I will leave behind with my children during this very stressful time, would be home is their safe harbor. I believe that they are trying their best and that they are not alone. Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much, Esther. Nicholas?
Yeah, for me, it's 2 things. One is you got this, parents, from the beginning to now, and trust your parental instincts that you have done what's best for your child, and they are going to benefit 100%, right? That much you owe it to yourself to acknowledge your effort, and kudos to you. They will do well. That's point number 1. Number 2 is the child don't know any better, right? They love you at the depth of their heart, but they don't say it. They don't express it, but they do, very much so. All right. And they continue to need you to show your love to them during this whole entire period. Yeah. So may I be their voice, all right, for you, and to let you know that they love you very much, and that they really look for all your hugs and kisses and your well wishes to them every step of the way, regardless of what the circumstance may be. And they really do from the bottom of their hearts. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nicholas. Before those of you who need to go back to your family, I have some announcements to share with you, and thank you for hanging back because there are some good deals with the kind sponsorship of our partners. So L Central, as we have shared earlier, you can click on the QR code and you can go and book a free assessment. You see the top right-hand corner. So that's where you can find out more about what they offer. And then I mentioned earlier that Jopez Academy also have a financial parenting masterclass that's available to all of us here. So you can scan the QR code there and you can sign up for the Zoom sessions that's happening in later part of August at night. Okay, so scan the QR code and thank you so much, Jopez Academy, for that. This is Nicholas' book. He mentioned it earlier, Clash of Mind and Heart. I have done book clubs on this. It has good tips. It will be a reiteration of what Nicholas was sharing in terms of understanding neuroscience, understanding what's happening in young people's brain during the teenage years, and what are some of the practical things that we can do, what are some of the things that we should avoid doing. It is really a useful book. So the QR code there would bring you to World Scientific where you can get the book. I'm currently running another book club on the book called Anxious Generation. And this book has got a lot of research surrounding how technological changes, now with a lot of social media, with gaming, now with generative AI, how can we make sure that our children will continue to grow up well into the teenage years and the adolescent season? knowing now what we know in terms of like, are they really doing well mentally? Around the world, there are now statistics that are coming out to say that actually our young people is not really doing well mentally. So how can we make sure that we, as we raise them well, as human beings, what do they really need? So if you are interested, because now after PSLE, they would have 3 months. Now it's a lot of pressure, right? But actually after PSLE, suddenly the pressure is off. Then what do they do with their time? Now they got no lesson, a lot of free time. That's when if we don't guide them well, sometimes some of the habits might start to grow actually in the final few months of the year. So prepare. I would strongly encourage you, even if you don't come for the book club, just go and read the book in your time. It will help you to prepare in your transition to raising a teenager. Yeah, so Nicholas' book is great. This is also a great book as well. And many of us will think that, wow, as our children go to secondary school, very good. They are independent. But actually we will still need to continue to grow with our children. So follow Dads for Life and Moms for Life, so that we can continue to grow as dads and moms. Okay, yeah, so come and join in. Yeah, so I see some of you already putting in your appreciation. And those who need to leave, can I encourage you to put down in the chat, what is one thing that you have learned? You can share the 30-minute assessment QR code. Yes, I would do that. For those who, before you leave, I would encourage you to consolidate what you have heard tonight. Okay, and put down in the chat, what is one thing that you took away from tonight's session? What is one thing that you would do more of or less of? What is something that you have learned? Or if it's something that you want to encourage other parents, yeah, keep them coming while I float the. Okay, so that is the free assessment that is available, offered by L Central. Okay, the QR code is at the right bottom. Is this what you were looking for, Crystal? Is that okay? Yeah. So before you leave, put down what is one thing that you took away from tonight. Yeah, we grow together with our children, absolutely. As they grow into the teenage years, it is going to be a very exciting time. This 10-year, the 10-year difference between, the time that they are thinking, the limbic part of the brain and the prefrontal cortex, that part of the brain grows, that 10-year gap is going to be very exciting. Okay, a lot of things are going on in our children's brain, but that is a great time also to set new habits. They're going to learn new things. There is hope. Okay, yep. So keep the, I missed the first 2 points in Nicholas' presentation. Nicholas, is it okay if you share your first 2 points? Yep, I'm going to stop share. Yep.
Sure, coming right up.
Presence over pressure. Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you, Esther. Yeah, this one, the 2 points are coming up. Yes, Grace, you are not alone. Okay, we are all here together, helping, supporting one another. Your kids also are not alone. They have you as a safe harbor. Yes, Nicholas. So the first point.
Yeah, focus on what they care about. Right? It may or may not be PSLE, what their goals, if they have any, but it could be you, it could be their friends, it could be their worries, it could be their anxiousness, or what are they really caring about? What's at the forefront of it? And the second one is the WDEP, right? What do they really want? What are you doing about what you want to get? Is it working? And what's your new plan if it's not? Yeah. If it is, then how much more do you want to do? Yeah. Is that good?
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Nicholas. Share the QR code for the financial masterclass coming right up. Yeah. Okay. So while I bring up the QR code, let's get to the questions. Oh, are you able to see it? Oh, okay. Hang on. Too many things on my screen. Okay. Are you able to? Oh, no. Okay, hang on. Okay, here it is. Is this the one you're looking for? Okay, so maybe let me raise the next question in Slido. Okay. How do we handle a child who does not want to do any extra learning, any other extra papers besides what the school tell them to do? After, if the school gives them homework, finish already, then I refuse to do any other thing. What should parents do if it comes to that situation? Esther, any thoughts?
My daughter's school already giving a lot of homework. And honestly, when she comes back, she finished all the homework. It's almost about time. But there are rare instances like yesterday. She actually finished a bit earlier. She finished about 6 p.m. So I told her, "Oh, go and have your break." She had a break, then she played table tennis, she ate dinner. Then it was about 7:30, 7:45. And that's when I asked her, "Do you think you're up for at least paper 1 for math?" Because math requires accuracy and speed, which sometimes you struggle with that. Then I said, "It's just a 1 hour paper. After that, we can go to bed. Do you want to give it a shot?" And I think because she had a break time, so it was quite easy to transit to pushing through a little bit. So, and also she saw that we were understanding that she really actually had a lot of homework. So, yeah, lor, she happily hopped on it. Bing, bing, bang, bang. I finished 15 minutes before time ended. I'm like, okay, good for you. Yeah, so I think the key thing here is first understand actually whether the school homework is sufficient. Actually, they are already doing a lot of papers in school, guys. Really a lot. I would rather we don't give homework but take out all the papers they had done and then go through the mistakes rather than just stack extra papers after papers. You can practice a lot, but if your practice actually has no effect because you don't go through the mistakes, then technically your revision is not very effective.
Yeah, thanks, Esther. Nicholas, anything to add?
No, all good.
Okay, then maybe the next question might be applicable. We might need your wisdom, Nicholas. How to calm a child if he comes out of the exam hall crying after day 1 of the exam and blaming himself for not able to perform? What would you do?
The last thing you want to say anything to him is like it's okay, it's fine, don't worry, mommy still love you, daddy still love you. That's the last thing you want to do. I mean, I'm really already trying to manage myself, having to not perform well by my own standards. I've got certain expectation, that I have to do well, right? So I think all he or she needs is just your heart, your understanding, your presence, your love, and until he comes down and she comes down, then you can have that conversation about, do you want to talk about it? Or is there something that you were unable to answer? Is there something that worries you or make you really stressed that are unable? Or is it really a case of you don't know how to answer? Those conversation comes later, right? So to your point, Carol, it's like what happens, what do you say immediately when you come out the exam point, you start crying? You don't need to say anything. You just need to be there for your child. Bring him out, hug him, it's over, there's nothing else to talk about. Right? Yeah. All the things that needs to be done already or said already. Right? Let's be there for him or her. Yeah.
Yeah, is it true that hugging them or giving them a physical touch releases certain hormones that might calm them?
Yeah, that's what the
Should we
research
do
found.
that or should we not do that?
It depends on your child lah. Some kids don't touch me. Yeah, just be there. Just walking alongside them. Just being quiet sometimes is also all good, and you're just there by his or her side. Makes all the difference. Yeah, and don't need to feel uncomfortable with the silence. Sometimes silence is beautiful. Sometimes silence says it all. So just hang out with them and just walk with them. Is there anything you want to do or anywhere you want to go? Maybe the child is silent. You just walk with the child lah. You don't have to feel pressured by not having your child say anything or you have to say something. No, I don't have to lah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what would your advice be if a child is academically weak and does not seem to fully comprehend the impact of PSLE?
It's okay. I mean, I think if until now that is still the case, right? There's really nothing much you can do, right? Because everything has already been done. right? All the tuition, all the scolding, all the encouragement, all the whatever, everything has really been done, right? I think moving forward is to really recognize, I suppose, right, what's the best way for your child to learn differently that will best suit your child, and that your child will be able to thrive in that environment or that approach or that strategy of learning, right? So that your child enjoys the learning, right? And once the child enjoys the learning, then they will find their way to do well and find a way to absorb those content or material. Yeah.
Mm.
By now, I mean, I guess I'm just responding to the context of where we are today, right? Yeah. Where things whether can or cannot be done, knowing that your child is really not grasping anything, right? I think you still can, I suppose, do what you can. You still got a couple of weeks or months, but be realistic, not like we were talking about earlier, right? Be realistic.
Yeah. Last few weeks already.
Yep.
Yeah. Esther?
On that note, right, I saw that people want to know how I talked to my daughter about her rejection after round 1. Okay, just give some context. Yes, Phoebe went for DSA, and she went. There's just one school that she really wants to go. Uh, and honestly, everyone actually told her that sure, no problem. Because she's indeed not too bad, but we also have to understand. So how did we manage her disappointment? Is that firstly, I think even before all this DSA journey, it has been very clear to her why we DSA and what is DSA. And the schools that we have chosen for the DSA also coincide with her actual academic ability, but a bit higher. So she ranges about AL 11, 12 on a relaxed, not so study hard kind of day. So aiming for the school through DSA was also because it's a school that likely if she worked harder, she will be able to get in. So when she got the news in email that she didn't get through, she was a bit shocked. So we witnessed her being slightly crumbly, and then she basically started tearing up. Then we asked her, like Nicholas said, don't need to talk to them too much. So we basically just held her hand and I rubbed her back. After a while, she stood up suddenly and she went to the room and she plonked her face into a pillow. And then I asked her, do you need me here? Then she said, no, I just need a while. Yeah, so we left her alone, but we opened her room door a bit to let my cat go in. Because to her, that could offer her a different kind of comfort, because no matter what, as a parent, we will come forth still a bit like an authority, even if we don't talk. So it was just my cat and then jump on her, and then it was just their moment in the room. And actually for about 5 minutes, she came out and then she said like, I didn't expect it to affect me so deeply. I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen next? Then she looked up. I guess I just have to make sure I do well enough to enter on my own merits. I'm like, okay, then let's move. But this could only happen when it comes to disappointment. It can only happen that our children can handle it well is how we actually have talked about these goals before. If these goals are unrealistic and you set your child so high up that they cannot bear a fall, then I think sometimes our own doing, because like Nicholas emphasized the whole night, our kids can't think so well yet at this age. We have to be their brains to help them process, to guide them. Sometimes I would say we have to be child focused but parent directed. Slightly different from child directed. Child directed means whatever they say we follow. But child focused means I'm looking at their needs and how I can guide them, but I'm the one who actually make some final decision because of the experiences that I have or the way I could process things. So I'm thankful. These 2 days, she still seems like it's okay. I'm just gonna 考进去. And I'm trying to also observe what kind of stress she's putting on herself, because once it flipped to the other side, that is when we got to pull back. So the key thing for all this rejection, disappointment, I think, is to have very big open eyes and be very observant, so that you can cushion the correct kind of cushion.
Yeah, thanks, Esther. There's a question about how can a working parent better manage work responsibilities and then supporting a child in PSLE, because the anxiety is real. Some will take leave, some will, and so any thoughts on that, Nicholas?
Yeah, this is very real, and that's the reason why I propose William Glasser's work, right? Because at the end of the day, this is life. I think maybe more so for Singapore. I don't know. We have just got to do our work, and our child is fully capable of internally being motivated to act on their own, right? And they're capable of that, but that requires a little bit of adults supervision and preparation and nurturing, right? And so what William Glasser proposes is for us adults, right, to be able to recognize what internally drives them, the basic habits, the basic needs, right? What's the goal? The goal is for them to be able to recognize what's important, and because they know what's important, they want to take action on their own. And they are taking action not because we tell them to take action, but it's because they know what action to be taken for themselves, right? So that's why if we have not already cultivate this kind of, like, I suppose, approach, behavior, mindset, thinking, or attitude, right? Then begin to recognize that moving forward in this period, right, there's so much only you can do, right? And you want to just encourage them to take necessary action on their own, helping them to recognize what matters to them, what they really care about. If they really care about going to, say, a school, can you use that to motivate your child such that, okay, if you really want to go to school, right, okay, how can we help you? How can mommy help you? Did they help you, right? To be able to remain focused or help you to curb all your extracurricular distractions or activities, right? So that you can do your revision and then you can score well for this particular subject so that you can go to your school that you want, right? Have the child land on a personal decision, right? As you come back from home and you're having this dinner together over the dining table, or maybe before you go to sleep, have that conversation with your child, because in the daytime you cannot, right? And help them to find that direction for themselves to self-motivate. And after that, when the next day you go to work, you know how to take action. And this is as per what Esther was saying, right? You set them up. That means you have the conversations on the negotiation right at the early stage, and you don't wait until later on, right? Because as you having that conversation with them, they are in the right frame of mind in their prefrontal to basically have that conversation to you, make plans with you, set goals with you, identify their motivation, and then use that motivation to act tomorrow when you go to work, right? And this happens on a daily basis. If you want to, you can check with them. Hey, so how yesterday we talked about this? Do you do this? But at the end of next day, and then you can revisit, and then you review, and then you keep doing it, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead, Esther.
Okay, but I'm gonna give a huge caution because I'm a working mom, right? And then the big caution to all you working parents out there who is seeing your child through PSLE is don't say things like this. You know how busy I was at work, but I came home, I rushed back just for you, you know. And shouldn't you? Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm saying it because earlier on, not nowadays, then my daughter will look at me like, I'm sorry I caused it to you. See, your anxiety, that's what we say, what do we bring into the room, right? So yes, because you want to rush home, that means you have to work through the night. So I've been having a lot of late nights because afternoon I try to keep those work from home time to jaga her a bit more, and night also jaga her a bit more, just to be a support. But it has impact on our work, and in that worry for our personal work, please watch what you're saying, because I also never asked you to come home and study with me. You choose yourself why you take it out on me, right? Okay, so let's be careful what we say out of our good heart. Let them appreciate that you're willing to sit with them, but it mutates and turn a different kind of taste if you're gonna talk a certain way.
So therefore,
Yeah.
the glasses theory also applies here, because if you know you're upset, you rush all the way to traffic or whatever it is, and you are affected, right? The suggestion here is that you check yourself, because if you don't check yourself, then you affect your child. And then if you want your child to act on his or her own, very difficult already, because now you are externally controlling your child based on your exasperation or your anger or your upsetness. Or that is not healthy according to Glasser, right? And that spoils the relationship. Yeah. So it applies
Yeah.
to us as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm mindful of time. Perhaps the last question, okay, is I'm going to combine the top voted question. Is about how is there a healthy daily and weekly schedule now that we are in the final weeks of PSLE? Is there like a healthy, like how do you manage your time? Should they, for example, do 10 papers over and over and over again or try different years? Is there like a strategic way of managing the time in the final weeks? I know just now Esther alluded to it, like chill a little bit, but if, what is there like a gold standard that we should strive towards? Nicholas and then Esther.
Definitely no gold standard lah. It's all depending on the child, really. Well, if anything at all, to give you a formula, I think you'll be three portions, I suppose, right? In a balanced way, given 100%, you want to have like 33, 34, 33 kind of proportion, right? For what? For your studies, and then for leisure, and then for relationships. All right. Why relationship is because at this age, limbing, they are always relationship first. They are always emotion first. Right? Yeah. So according to your child, you balance that accordingly. So some child may need the relationship more, right? But some child can handle the exam stresses. So if that was the case, then it's maybe like 40 and then 20, and then 40, for example, right? In that proportion. Right? Yeah. So depend on your child. And if your child really need the relationship, spend time with you first or hang out with their friends and kind of thing, right? Despite knowing that the PSLE is important for revision, right? But really, if you take them away, they're really going to be super overwhelmed and super stressed up because they don't have the outlet. Right? Then maybe the studies will be that's 20 or 30%, right? And the remaining will be that's 40% and 40% accordingly. Yeah. So it really depends on the child. Yeah, but balance it off. Yeah. Ideally, it would be 30, 34, 33, right? 33, 34, 33. Yes. Ideally. Yeah.
I like how you keep saying ideally, because everyone, I'm in it right now, guys. I'm in the midst of prelims. Honestly, okay, so I think lack of time, right? Then you want to find some pockets of time to, 30 plus, 30 plus, 30 plus is ideal lah. So my strategy is, it wouldn't be 30, 30, 30. I think it looks more like 60, 40, but the difference is that 40, their relaxation time, I try to match it with some relationship time, which means if she really want to watch that Bluey episode that she has watched 10 million times, and she say, "Mom, can you sit beside me to watch?" Then I have to connect both the two R's, which is the relax and relationship, then I can clock both together. Or let's say you say like, "Mom, can you play table tennis with me?" Honestly, I don't feel like moving, but I will have to say, "Okay, can." Then we clock it together. So this season we're ramping up. It's only less than 2 months. We can discipline ourselves a bit more to be intentional. I'm also truly understanding towards that time is not on our side. So you try to mix and match it in a way that there can be blended versions of in the suiting of your child lah. Regarding how to do revision, I would say always check what the school is already doing and complement it. I didn't say supplement it. I say complement it will do. Yeah, that means 大概 we match some stuff of it. Because I always say this, home is home, school is school. Right? And then I think then you can make better decision when you define it. And I like one of the comments previously say, "Let me be mother, don't be monster." I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, I wish I can highlight that. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, so please do. Thank you, Julia, for putting in your learning point. So let's put in our learning point before you leave. What is one thing that you took away from tonight? There are so many great tips. I remember in the final weeks of prelims and PSLE, we wanted to go and hang out, right? I play table tennis still can, quite safe, but for me, I didn't go like forest adventure lah, or the climb one in case break fingers or whatever. So, so those were the things that in my mind, in the final weeks.
No trampoline
No
park.
trampoline,
Yes, no
Good.
trampoline park. Please safe activities, please do.
go
And
cycling also like, okay, cycling can but don't fall down or something. In my heart, in my heart. Like, hey, just stay like that, you know?
so funny,
Yeah, but
right?
so there are funny things. Baking may be safe lah, huh? You know, things like that. But do things that can, huh? Sorry?
Desperate times come desperate measures.
Yeah. Yeah. So do things that can strengthen your bond together, you know, going through a stressful time as a family. It is difficult, but together as a family, you know, it is not so bad, right? Remembering that rest and recover is part of work also, that actually will help them. Even if they are relaxing, they are resting, it actually helps them to freshen up their mind and their body. Yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So do leave your learning point. Let's show our appreciation to Esther and Nicholas. You can now unmute and say bye-bye and thank you. But do leave your learning points before you go. And I hope that we would see you again at the next Family Huddle at the end of August. We will be sending more information about the topic that's available later. So thank you so much, everybody. Last lap. Okay, 加油 everybody. Let's go. Okay, relax, bond with your child, enjoy, take many deep breaths. Yeah, take shower, drink water. Thank you so much. And thank you, Esther and Nicholas, for spending extended time with us. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. All the best.
Bye. All the best.
Bye-bye. Bye.